Good morning. I'd like to invite you today to explore the art of ink painting in the traditional Chinese style. And we're going to be learning this technique during the class, Art for All at the church, All Saints Church. So next Thursday, April 25th, we are going to be painting with ink at the church. And I'm going to show you how to create a branch with leaves and flowers. And maybe if you would like to, you can also try painting a little bird. So for ink painting, we're gonna have few gradients of water. This is water that has just a little bit of ink. You can still see through. And this water is much more saturated. It has much more ink, so it will give us much darker hues. And then we're also going to use pure black ink for the darkest tones. So you can do it two ways. You can either start by first doing the branch, then doing the leaves, or you can do the leaves first and the branch after. But I'm going to actually start by painting the bird so that we can have an idea if you would like to try the bird. And to paint the bird, we're gonna take pure dark ink first. And we're gonna start with painting the eye. Just a round dot, and then it looks like a little human. It's okay. And the wings of this bird are gonna be going to the side, so it's gonna be about like this. Maybe on a stick. Okay. So I can start doing the pattern on the wing with pure dark ink. This is the tip of the wing. And they have very cool tails. But before I do the tail, I need to do the body. So I'm gonna use a different brush and more watered down. So I'm using this like more clean water to make a soft belly for him. And I just make a wash. It's a gradient. We're also gonna do that with the head already. Add some gradient to the face. Oh, that's cool. Okay, now I can see where the tail will be. So for the tail, I think I'm gonna use also a little bigger brush. Mix my ink here. So I'm taking some from this one, making a little bit of a darker wash. I think this will be enough for the tail for now. So while this is drying, we can do the branch that the bird is sitting on. So for the branch, I'm gonna use a dry brush technique, which is basically you're taking a relatively dry brush, and I'm just testing it here to see, because I wanted to leave those kind of like scratch marks. Oh, that's so interesting, actually. Right. So that's where I'm gonna leave my branch. So you see, you just want to do a few really simple strokes and then look at it and see, does it need more? And then you can go back with the smaller brush to go with those strokes where the branch is more thinning out. And perhaps add a little contour to the branch. But the bright brush gives this nice technique that looks like a bark. And then the wet brush, you can contrast it with nice lines of smooth. I'm just gonna actually add a few more on top here. And now I'm gonna do some leaves. A little bigger brush because I want those leaves to be nice and large. Whoa, that looks so cool. So see what happens? What happens, the brush is naturally has different gradients. So some parts are darker, some parts are brighter. It kind of looks like magnolia flower petals to me. So I'm gonna do a few of these. And perhaps a few smaller ones. We don't want them all look the same. And now I'm getting my big brush to give a few bigger ones as well, just to balance it out. Maybe in this direction. The brush kind of splattered, which is interesting to me. And this just feels so nice, just holding this brush, and I think you guys will really enjoy doing that. That painting is pretty much finished for now, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait until it dries to add some details. I can also, if I want to, I can add a little bit detail when it's still wet with my smaller brush. So I can go into some of those areas and perhaps define them. If I want those to be buds, then maybe make them into buds. If I want them to be leaves, then I can try to add the veins. I like those splatters, so I'm just going to actually add a little bit more small detail, like dots and such. So the idea of this, it's quick, it's expressive, it's fun, and you just learn something every time you do it. You don't really know how that's gonna look like until it's done. So here's the one that I did earlier that I'm gonna add the legs to now because it dried, and I'm gonna just wait for the other ones to dry too. But for the legs, we want them, or I want them to be just very thin. So I'm gonna be using the thin brush. Perhaps I want to go in there a little bit with the dark ink and define those feathers, or add a little bit more detail in the eye. Such a cute birdie. And this is where I first discovered this technique of using a whole brush when I was painting this branch, and I thought this would be perfect for our class because anybody can put the brush next to the paper and we can have fun with that. So So I'm just adding a little bit of details around the leaves. And yeah, every year the robins come here. We have a, what is it called? Not winterberry. I forgot what it's called. It's a tree that they really like. And right now it's blooming, and it just has, actually it is not blooming yet. It has buds, and the buds are so beautiful. And the robins are nesting near that tree because they love the berries. The berries come in around June, so they already are claiming that territory here for themselves. Yeah, I think a little bit of black just to balance it off, so it kind of travels throughout the whole composition. We have some darker spots at the bird, some dark, really dark spots at the branch, and then by adding tiny bits here as well, I want to, make sure that the eye moves through this composition with ease, and it's very enjoyable in that way. So very spontaneous, very loose, but it's really fun. And here is me doing the details with the small brush after it has dried. So that's it. It's a simple painting of a branch with some leaves or buds, and a bird sitting on it. Come out to try it next week. Hope to see you there.